Pranam Bandhu, my dear friends. Today's topic will be Satwik meditation. I'll tell you first about my experiences with meditations and then about Satwik meditation. Since my teenage, I was very much interested into meditations, and I've been doing a lot of meditations, yoga and practices of the breath control and controlling your mind. Meditation was always a part of my life in my childhood, and whenever I was doing a lot of research on meditation and practicing different forms of meditation, and then I slowly started to learn about this mind control thing and how to meditate and meditate on yourself, and transportation through meditation, and you could transport your soul to some other place, leaving your body behind, and then have a very beautiful time in that place, and then enjoy the peace and serenity and the joy and pleasure, and then you come back to your body and these things, and how to control your mind so that you could just concentrate on what you want and then you get it. And I have also done a kind of soul transportation where I left my body and get into the soul of a very renowned person I met after coming to Kolkata, and she was like one of the greatest living being in the last 50 years. But then slowly and slowly, when I started working with people, when I started working with the poorest of the poorest people and the richest of the rich people, and so meditation was actually controlling your breath. Meditation was actually making the best use of your breath, because breath is something which is between a life and death, between happening and just mud. The only difference is the breath, because if the breath can go in and out and it can do its work, then you are alive. And if it is not going in or coming out, then slowly you are just part of the dust, part of the earth. But then the moment slowly when I was becoming more and more Satwik, and I was becoming a Satwik Acharya. Acharya is a selfless teacher. So I was seeing this thing, that this breath thing was just physical. This body. It is true. It is 100% true that without the body, nothing is possible. But there are endless. You come to a country like India, or you come to a country like, go to a country like China, or all these highly populous countries in the world, where you will see endless people pushing you, and there's so crowds and crowds of people, bodies, people with breath. Many of them have very much control over their breath, and all these highest standards of meditators and highest standards of yogis and things like that. But then even the animals are there, they are also taking breath, and the same, the birds and reptiles and all, fishes and everyone. But then what is the difference? Where is the difference between a human being? Because Satwik is a human being, being humane, being differentiating yourself from all other life forms. You are different than all other life forms. You are not restricted to the fish intelligence. Maybe some of them are lesser than fish intelligence, but then we are not talking about that. But if you are an intelligent human being, if you are another level of human being, then you know this thing, that breath thing and the meditation thing and the yoga thing and all these things, they are restricted to the body, which even a fish or a dog or a pig has. So what about you? What about me? And then slowly I was realizing all these knowledge, all these great things which are as old as the Himalayas, which are as deep as these oceans of the world, like Pacific Ocean. And so these things, all these gyan, all this knowledge is there around you. You just have to be ready, be prepared. You have to prepare your body. And then these things keeps on coming. Because earlier it was only the wind which was coming in and going out. But then later, slowly, all these greatest of knowledge, which is so much there, especially in India, which is so much there around yourself that, you know, you could just take it if you work hard for it. For that you have to be a Satwik to realize this thing. So anyways, coming back to the Satwik way of meditation, I was seeing this thing that when you are doing meditation, you are being the best stage, the final stage of meditation is being at a bliss, being in joy, being in a very beautiful state of mind, enjoying it, and then coming back to your normal self and maybe having some hangovers of that beautiful thing, and then whatever you are doing with that, and then maybe surviving a little bit more or a little bit healthier than the rest of the people. But then, you know, that is also a question. So the way a Satwik does meditation is like when, for example, I am talking with a friend. I'm talking with a friend like you. Now I'm talking to you through a medium, through a digital medium. But when somebody is in front of me, when I'm talking to that person, before that, so when you are meditating, you go to that beautiful blissful state, and then you come out of it, have some hangover, and you are coming back to your original self, maybe with some hangover from that beautiful, you know, time you had with meditations and yoga. And then, isn't it very selfish? First point. Second point, isn't it like you are in that state of bliss, you are in that state of joy? If you could do something in that state of joy for the world, for people, for the humanity, for everyone, then it is of use. So I thought, how to be in that state of joy, be in that state of bliss, in that state of beautiful being, the highest state of meditation, and doing beautiful things, and doing the post-meditation things. What you do generally, you go to meditation and come out of it, and then you are by yourself. But how about being in the post-meditation stage and do and live in this world? You know how beautiful it is? If you are a Satwik, you will understand this thing. How blissful it is to be in like the kind of situation you are in a meditative stage without a body, just your soul having a nice time. But then if you could be in that post-meditation stage or in the final of meditation stage and be also with your body and mind and doing things. I don't know if I could export my feelings to you. Maybe some other time I will again try if I couldn't export it this time. Maybe you can rewind and see it again. So when you are in that blissful state of meditation, you are without body and mind. But what about having the body and mind in this stage where you are? So that's why I made this new form of meditation called Atma Yoga. It is the soul yoga, yoga of the soul. And how beautiful it is. How you could be so much in bliss, so much in joy. You could be the happiest person in the world when you go for this Atma Yoga. But Atma Yoga is not something which could be through. So you have to be here, you have to be with me, and then I could export that Atma Yoga to you. And this is the ideal form of meditation, Atma Yoga, because all other yoga forms are just by being with your soul, and then coming back to your old body with some hangovers and you with your own mind. But Atma Yoga is actually called the yoga of the soul, meditation of the soul, but it is with your mind, which is, which is refreshed. We know this word very much nowadays, which is rejuvenated, and with your body being a Satwik. So I welcome you and all the people all the people in the world to practice this Atma Yoga. Atma Yoga, or the soul meditation, soul yoga, is the ideal for any form of human being from any part of the world, any religion, any language, any altitude, or any temperatures which they can feel, for everybody, without the constraint of a body, constraint of that look, constraint of my Indian look, or my skin color, or my religious sentiments. Atma Yoga is for every human being. So I just welcome you to come to our Satwik ashrams and be part of this Atma Yoga. Welcome, and have a very beautiful day. Have a very beautiful evening, and see you tomorrow at 1300 hours GMT.